Welcome to Coach's Corner, everyone. Thanks for watching the show on this Saturday. Actually, we're taping a little bit early. I'm your host, Paul Tripoli. Coach Trip to my players, where I coached for 20 years, high school football. Good friend of mine, Coach Kyle Lingerfelt, is our guest today. Coach, thanks for joining the show.
That's a pleasure, Paul. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I love this show. I tune in about every time I see it on my Facebook alert. So,
thanks so much, everybody. We're going to have a blast today, man. Here on Coach's Corner, we try to inspire and educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. That's right. Coming up on the show, we're going to have Coach. We're going to talk all about his career. We're going to dive into NIL and transfer portal. We're also going to get Coach's picks on this week's college football game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, let's start at the beginning. You grew up, you had a tough childhood. Your dad wasn't around a lot. You actually, your grandparents were the major influence on you as a young kid. Talk about growing up and the influence your grandma and grandpa had on you.
Yeah, I had to spend my high school years here in Tallahassee, where I got to, with my grandparents, the Wilders, and went to Godby High School and had a real rough life growing up. But they saved me, and just tremendous people. I miss them every day, but they sure changed my life. So I'm proud of that.
Oh, man, they did, man. God, you know, a lot of people grew up in not ideal circumstances, but they have somebody in their corner, their champion, that believed in them, and your grandparents were it. You moved, you grew up in the Land O'Lakes area, but moved to Tallahassee, your sophomore year in high school?
Yeah, you remember well. I grew up in Tampa, Land O'Lakes. Had a pretty rough family life. Dad was an alcoholic. Mom, anyway. So my grandparents got me out of that mess, and that's how I got to Godby High School, which is one of the best things ever happened to me. Had a great high school head coach, and Gene Burleson, and got to play quarterback on the state championship team and all that good stuff. But without my grandparents, I might be in the penitentiary. I don't know.
You might be dead or in the penitentiary or both. Dying there. Oh my gosh, Coach. The coaches there saved your life too. And then you started playing. And talk about that 1977 championship high school team that you were a part of. What made it so special? The combination of coaches, leaders, and hardworking kids.
You just hit it to a T. Our head coach was a great man. I didn't ever hardly play football growing up. I only started in high school. Played a little bit in junior high, but as a runt, But I could always run. I ran track and was a fast kid and all that. And they ran the veer option. I had a running back named Frank Martica who played at Vanderbilt, set a lot of records. Had Chris Hobbs, who went to the University of Miami. Had Sammy Knight, who played at Florida A&M, about 6 other college guys. And all I really did was hand the ball off. We'd run the option. If I didn't pitch it, I'd fall down for 6 yards. So they won the state championship. I just was there, but I played a lot, and got to go play at Florida because of that experience. So,
yeah, who gave you your scholarship? What was that moment like when you told your grandmother they were getting a full scholarship to Florida to play football? And talk about that.
I'll try to be real brief, but I was going to Troy State. Troy. That's about where I belonged, really,
Right.
At that kind of level. And my best friend growing up in Tampa was a kid named Chris Fisher. His brother, Jimmy Fisher, had been a quarterback at Florida. And Chris was being recruited by the world. You understand, USC, Notre Dame, Florida State.
Right.
Top quarterback in the state that year in 77, Tampa King High School. And we were best friends. We were inseparable till I moved to Tallahassee, and he could have gone anywhere, right? And he calls me up one night. He says, "Kyle," I said, "Hey, bud." I called him Fish. I said, "Hey, Fish." He says, "I just committed to Florida I had told Coach Pell, Charlie Pell, that I will come if you'll take my buddy Kyle too."
Whoa! No way! No way!
So I get there because, but they wanted him so badly,
Yeah,
I was a throw-in, and I really didn't belong there. But I said, he says, "Do you want to come to Florida?" I said, "Well, heck yeah!" I was going to Troy State. Yeah, so that's how
So
I
you
got.
became a Florida Gator forever, and then you got
Yeah,
into
yeah.
coaching. Did you always know you wanted to coach, or did it come somewhere from you in college or somewhere along there?
Nation, probably like you. I wanted to be my high school coach because I thought I was so poor. I thought he was rich. He drove a new truck and all that. He got to
Right.
school and yell at everybody and help people. And then I got to,
Right.
as much as I got beat up there, I was a terrible scout team player. I played a little bit, the junior and senior, but Coach Pell, he just made you so tough. Charlie
Yeah.
Pell,
Right.
those people, were just incredible. So I got it in my blood. And
Yeah.
went on from there, coached at about 1,000,000 colleges.
All right, so
My background.
we won't
I've
go
been
through every one.
it's like the TV commercial. I've been everywhere, man.
Oh my gosh, that's funny, Coach. And we won't talk about all of them, but we will talk about some of them. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Number one, let's talk about one of your passions, strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
And like you, that's my passion as well. I became a certified strength coach when I got into high school coaching. I was lucky enough to be an All-American strength team under Al Miller and
Wow.
Kent Johnston, two
Wow.
NFL strength coaches.
Yeah.
I would have never played at Alabama in the pros, Coach, if it wasn't for my strength coach. That's one of your passions, and actually that's one of your first jobs in college, GA
Right.
at Delta State. Talk about that and the what you learned from that strength coach and that
Yeah.
experience.
Well, our strength coach with the Gators was a guy named Rich Tootin, who also went on to the NFL. It seems like a lot of SEC strength coaches made it to the NFL.
Right.
And I played because I lived in the weight room too. I'm 5'10", 175, but and it was a little more crude back when we were playing. Not as sophisticated strength wise as it is now, but I fell in love with that. I said I want to be a strength coach. So they got myself a GA job at Delta State University under a great head man named Red Parker, who'd been coach at Clemson, a great man.
Yeah.
And our strength coach also went to the NFL at Delta State, Jeff Hurd. He was with the Chargers for a long time.
Yeah, right.
And I lasted about a year there in that weight room doing 13 sports, men's and women's. I said, man, I don't want to be a strength coach. You were there 16 hours a day, So I wrote a letter to Coach Roy Kidd at Eastern Kentucky University. I would handwrite letters. That was a great way to do things. And I got a response back, and I went GA at Eastern Kentucky, and they were perennial national champions.
Wow.
And got promoted after a year to wide receiver coach, and the rest is history, So.
Wow. And then your dream job. Back at your alma mater,
yeah.
Back at Florida,
yeah.
Coach Spurrier hired you.
Yeah.
Gosh, talk about Coach Spurrier and those great memories you had at Florida and some of the players that you coached there. Talk about, because I know you followed them when they went to the pros. And
yeah, man, we had a bunch that first year. I got there in '90, his first year. He hired me. He said, Kyle, I got a job here, but how much you make at Eastern Kentucky University? I said, Coach, Coach, I make $28,000 and I get a school car. And he says, sorry, some noise in the background. He says, well, I ain't gonna pay you that. So I thought I was gonna make 50, He said, I got $14,000 and you're not getting a car. I said, where do I sign? Because I wanted to be a Gator. I told him I'd crawl from Kentucky to Gainesville to be a Gator again. And
that's right. You took a pay cut.
Off. I didn't care. You know how it was. I didn't care about money. I just want to be on the field.
Right.
And I got to be for 4 or 5 years. So,
Wow.
There, yeah. I saw some amazing things. Our first game, we didn't know what was going to happen because Florida hadn't really been much, over the years, other than Charlie Pell years.
Right.
And so our first game was Oklahoma State. Rolls in there, and they got Thurman Thomas and all those guys,
Wow.
We didn't know what to expect, right?
Right.
We're brand new. We beat them by 50 points, man. And
it
went on from there. We started out 7-0, and then went up to Tennessee and got killed. And they came back, and last game of the year, we lost to Florida State. We went 9-2, won the SEC his first year, but they wouldn't award it to us because of Galen Hall's rule breaking.
Oh,
back in the day.
wow.
You know what Coach Spurrier did, though? out of his pocket, he bought every player, every coach an SEC championship ring he had made with a 1 on it. Still got that thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a
Holy
great
cow.
man.
Did he really, Coach?
Oh, he's a great man. I still love him. I wouldn't have had any job without Steve Spurrier.
Right, right.
You know?
Yeah, that launched you in your career in many schools. And
Well, it'd be like when you play with the Bear, and I don't know a lot. I know a bunch of guys that played for the Bear like you, and they went into coaching like you. And he said when the Bear passed away, it really hurts your job prospects because he could call and get you a job, you know. And once he's gone, you don't have that guy anymore.
Right.
Coach
That's
Coach
true.
Spurrier got me every job I had, probably.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
So, yeah.
All right. So you have a great coaching career. Let's dive in because we got a lot. I want you to be my guest picker on my college picks. Let's talk transfer portal, how not good it is. And I'm reading from some of your Facebook posts, which is a great post, Coach. Florida State has 30 transfer portal guys. Clemson has 0. Over the past 5 years, Florida State brought in 65 transfers. Clemson just 2.
Yeah.
What is the philosophy and what is the difference in philosophy and how is it evident on the football field?
Well, you know, I don't have anything against the transfer portal. I don't like it. You know, kids need opportunities, but basically those transfer portal guys are mercenaries. You understand? And there's mercenary coaches too, you know.
Right.
But I've been on the sideline for Florida versus, and I'm not talking bad about anybody. I was on the sideline for Florida versus Miami.
Right.
I was on the sideline for Florida versus Texas A&M. I was on the sideline for Florida State versus California. And the apathy and the looking in the stands and the not playing hard, that's the culture. I mean, you understand great football programs have tremendous cultures.
Right.
You know? I mean, Alabama, you'd kill yourself for the Tide, you know.
Right.
These guys that come in, you know, FSU's quarterback, they paid him almost $1 million, Paul. Guy can't play. You know?
He can't. He's not a very good player. He hasn't gotten any better over the last few years.
They got 30 transfer portal guys. I understood they spent over $3 million for all of them. And they're not very good, you know. And that's bad evaluation. And that what do you do when you're a high school kid and you've been busting your tail for a year? And you know, bringing in transfer portal guys humbles high school kids that are already in the program. That's why they transfer. You know, it's a never-ending cycle. They said, they must not believe in me. You know, they're bringing this guy in. You know, so but, it really hurts the culture. I know some people, excuse me, I'm on a hotel computer here. Some people have done okay by it, you know.
Right. Well, it's useful for what it was intended for. It wasn't intended for a free agency. If I'm having trouble with my DB coach, I'm so thankful that we played in that era because I would have transferred out and probably not done anything ever in my career because I did not like my DB coach. You know, we just didn't get along. But I had to learn to get along, and he had to learn to get along with me, even though he did not like me. And we made it work. And I'm so thankful because I would have transferred out and not stuck it out and learned those valuable lessons because that's when you learn valuable lessons when things go bad. It's not because things go so good for you. You know, you win, you lose, you learn more from losing than you do winning. But you're right. It's a culture. It's a culture, Coach. And now these kids talk about the parking lot when you go into the parking
my goodness.
I mean, I didn't even have a car when I went to college.
I had a 15-year-old Ford Ranger with about 190,000 miles on it.
No, I hoofed it everywhere. I walked.
So I walked through the FSU parking lot, and I took a picture. I mean, they're great folks. I'm not trying to be too negative, I guess.
Right.
And this is a player's parking lot. There sits a Mercedes. There sits an $80,000 truck. There sits a Corvette. You know, and you know when you're 20 years old and they give you $100,000 to come play.
You can't handle it. No, you cannot handle it.
I wouldn't have handled it well.
I wouldn't have either. I'd
have blown all that money. You know, so I understand that. But what the transfer portal does, like now Florida State's behind the 8 ball. You know, they got 30 guys and they got to stay in the transfer portal because. Number one, they're getting very highly ranked high school recruits, prospects. backing off that are committed to them.
Right.
It kills your high school recruiting.
It does.
You take a class of 25. Most colleges back, we played until 10 years ago, you signed 25, 24 high school kids a year.
Every year.
Now they're signing 10, because they're going to get 12, 15 portal guys. So it kills a high school kid's chances to be recruited. And I can tell you, I know every high school from here to Miami, coach. Wow. And all of them say, I see less and less of Florida and Florida State. That's not right. We're in the most fertile high school football state in the nation, basically.
Absolutely, the tradition and the rich heritage and the alumni and the just oh gosh, that's
once you get in that game or on that train, that transfer portal train, you can't get off. So that's that's a sad thing to me.
I know. I've been pushing it for months, but even on ESPN College Game Day. They asked Saban, I think it was Pat McAfee asking Saban, would you like to be the president of college football? He should be. He actually, they said it in jest, but he should be. And Mike Krzyzewski should be the president of college basketball. Let me tell you, if those two were to get together and run that, they would straighten things out because they would make decisions. You're not going to have a committee. There's never been a statue or a monument ever erected for a committee in this country, ever. Right. But there's plenty of individuals that stand tall. You've got to have somebody that knows what they're doing and organizing it. So everybody
they would not turn things into a bureaucratic mess.
Exactly.
Because their voice would be the voice. It's my way or the highway guy.
Exactly.
That's a needed thing. They need to be a czar of football and a czar of basketball.
Well, given these 18-year-olds millions of dollars, they are not prepared for it. High school does not prepare you for financially. They don't even show you how to balance a checkbook in high school. They don't teach you the right things. They're mentally, cognitively not there yet. I would have gone just off the rails if I got that. So I'm thankful I didn't.
Amen, brother.
But you're comfortable. There's no good coming from comfort. You have to be uncomfortable sometimes to get things done, and I think that's where a lot of it lies.
Well, you came from the best college football culture ever invented, the University of Alabama. You guys would live and die, And when I was with the Gators, they would kill you. They'd try to run you off, and they never could because I had nothing to go home to, which is a great thing. It's like you said, if the rules had been the same when I was playing, I'd have transferred to Troy State, and it wouldn't have been a good life for me,
Right.
Because then you had to sit out a year. Remember, if you transferred,
exactly, right.
Unless you went down to Division II, So.
Right.
But it was better for all of us.
The culture is everything, and it's not the coaches instill this kind of culture where the standard is the standard, and if you don't like it, you're gone. Right. And the players accept it. When the players accept it, all of a sudden they become the policemen. Why does fighting work in the NHL? Why? Because they
police themselves.
They police themselves. Exactly. Yeah. That's why it works. All right, Coach. We could talk a lot about the subject. It was good stuff. Let's get into college football top 25. I've got like 15 games I picked. I want to get your picks on these.
I pick with my heart, Paul, so look out. I don't pick with my brain. I pick with people I love on their coaching, so I might have some bad picks here. You know what I mean?
I do. I pick with my heart when it comes to Alabama. That's the only one.
Oh, well, you're always good. You're always going to be right.
Yeah, I win like 60, 70% of the time. So
you got to be a Florida Gator now. I pick with my heart, and it's killing me.
All right, buddy. All right, Bama's favored by 22.5 at Vandy, 315 on the SEC network. Who do you got, Coach?
Well, Alabama's going to win, obviously, but I think after they played that emotional game last weekend in Vanderbilt, I was there for 10 years. It can be a boring place to play,
Yeah.
And they got stadium renovations going on. It's not going to be fun. I don't think Bama will beat them by 22.
By that many?
I think they'll obviously beat them,
All right, good pick, Coach. Good pick. Yeah, they could. Vandy's not a bad team.
No, I pray for them. They're good guys.
And when I was at Bama, we did lose to Vandy, so I have to get.
When I was at Vandy, we never beat Alabama. So there you go.
Ohio State. 20
And
point
Iowa.
favorites. 20-point favorites over Iowa.
I'll take Iowa. Well, I don't. I'm not a point guy, but I think I understand it.
Okay.
I'll take Iowa with the points. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Sure does.
Ohio State's going to win, but I picked the points with Iowa.
Right. That's
I know.
yeah, I do that.
I pull for Kirk Ferentz. I'd spent some time with him. He's a great person.
Oh yeah, he is a great guy, man. He's
Yeah.
a great coach. What
Great
a defensive mind. One of my old teammates in Toronto, the Argonauts, coached with him.
I worked with him for 2 weeks when I did an internship with the Cleveland Browns, and Bill Belichick was head coach.
Was that early 91?
It was 93.
93?
Yeah. You know who the defensive coordinator was?
Yeah, Saban.
Nick Saban.
Yeah. I was in Cleveland's training camp in 85.
Well, you missed the fun.
Did.
That was the hardest 2 weeks of my life.
I wanted to stay there, and I would have actually played for Nick Saban and
man,
Belichick too. Yeah, crazy.
Oh man,
Berea,
Ohio. That's where.
Yeah. All right. I'm taking Ohio State and Bama, so we're going against each other. Tennessee's 2 touchdown favorites over Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to keep within 2 touchdowns of them.
I'm on your side there. Is that at Arkansas or at Knoxville?
That is at Arkansas, 6:30 on ABC for those interested. Georgia is hosting Auburn, 2:30 on ABC. 24-point favorites over Auburn.
Taking Georgia, brother. I might be crazy. I'll take the points and Georgia.
All right, buddy. Number 6.
What are you picking?
I'm taking Auburn in the points because I think they'll stay within 24. I think they're tough, but just don't have a quarterback. You know, you got to have a great quarterback to win championships now, don't you?
Everybody has to have that. I think the most primary positions you should be recruiting, high school ranks, is quarterback, offensive lineman second, then defensive lineman third.
Oh yeah, I wanted to let's take a detour. Let me take a time out right here because I wanted to speak about that with Florida State, and I can't understand why their offensive line cannot control the line of scrimmage the last 4 or 5 years. And you pointed it out to me that they only signed one high school offensive lineman in 4 years.
The O-line coach has been there 5 years. He signed one high school offensive lineman. I bet somebody else might have signed 1 or 2, but their whole team is built on transfer portal linemen, and they're not very good. You know, there's a president.
Unbelievable. All right, let's continue on. UCLA. I don't know what happened, Chip Kelly and UCLA, but they're 28-point underdogs at Penn State, 11 a.m. on Fox.
Is he still the head coach there? I thought that what's his name took over.
They take over.
Yeah, some guy named Foster.
I'm going to take the points and they stay within 28.
No, I'm taking Penn State. My heart's in that one.
All right, Coach.
I love James Franklin.
Do you? You like Coach? You know him, Coach?
He was my boss for 3 years.
Coach.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I'm gonna say this. I want to say this after the show, but I want to say it now. Who would be a good guest for me to have on the show, Coach?
Oh goodness. My friend, hey Matthew.
You know so many coaches.
Well, it doesn't mean they like me, but he was my boss at Vandy the first 2-3 years. We went to bowl games, and he got the Penn State job and left my tail in Nashville. So.
Wow. All right. Okay, Coach.
Let's continue. I'm fishing for him. If something happens at Florida, I want them to get after him. But
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
All right. Yeah, well, okay, so I'm a University of Miami 10-point favorites at Cal, 9:30, the late game on ESPN. And I'm a believer in Miami's head coach. I thought he would turn them around last year.
I'll take Miami and the points. I was on the sideline when they played Florida this past month, and that quarterback, Cam, what's his name, is the real deal.
Yes, he is. You're right.
Even though he's a transfer portal guy, he is a real deal.
Absolutely. Also an interesting line in the next game. Number 9, Missouri. They're traveling at Texas A&M, and they're 2.5-point underdogs to number 25 team in the country. 11 o'clock on ABC. I'm taking Texas A&M.
Taking Texas A&M just like you, Paul.
Okay, buddy. All right. Michigan's also an interesting storyline or spread because Michigan's number 10 in the country. Washington's not even ranked, but Washington's a 2.5-point favorite over Michigan, 6:30 on ABC. NBC.
Michigan?
Yep, Michigan, Washington.
I'm taking Michigan.
Yep, me too. All right. We got USC, who is 8-point favorite at Minnesota. I'm taking USC.
USC.
All right,
Go
Coach.
Trojans. There we go. Yeah.
Well, we got
Minnesota,
three.
that guy does a good job, though.
We got a few more. We got a few more left. Ole Miss, 9-point favorites at South Carolina. I like South Carolina staying within 10 of Lane Kiffin.
I'm with you. I'm taking South Carolina straight up.
All right, Coach. Good. Clemson, 2-touchdown favorite at FSU. I'm taking Clemson.
Well, I'll be on the sideline, the Clemson sideline, Saturday night. So I got to say it. I'll take Clemson and the point.
So Dabo, do you know Dabo?
No, but I know another guy on the staff, and he got me down there. So.
Woody McCorvey?
Yeah. Yeah, he's an Alabama guy. You know, Woody?
Coach McCorvey is an Alabama guy. I had him on my show. You should check it out. Go back to archive Coach Woody.
Yeah,
McCorvey.
he's administrator now. He's a good guy. And,
you know, he was the first person Dabo called when he got the head coaching job.
Really?
Yep.
He was always kind to me. Always.
Woody's great, man.
Class act.
Yeah, Woody was Dabo's position coach at Alabama and coached here at Tate High School, actually.
I didn't know that.
Pensacola.
Plus, their strength coach is a good friend of mine, Coach Joey Batson. So he's the ones that get me down there.
Coach Joey. I'd love to have him on.
He's been here about 40 years.
All right, talk to him, Coach. I'd love to have him on. That'd be awesome.
Sure.
All right, Iowa State, 12-point favorites, hosting Baylor. Baylor's keeping every game close. I think they'll stay within 12, Iowa State, but I could be wrong.
I'll take Baylor there.
Okay, Coach. Two more. My hometown, Syracuse. They think they got something going on, and they have a pretty good quarterback in that Ohio State transfer, Kyle. So I'm going to take Syracuse, even though they're a touchdown underdog at UNLV.
Yeah, it's a long trip. I'll take Syracuse too. I don't think UNLV is who they think they are.
All right, and then final one in your alma mater, Coach. I know you're going to pick with your heart, but I got to go with my old high school coach's team, George O'Leary's UCF Golden Knights.
Well, I'm picking the Gators by about 4.
Okay, Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the FSU game, Clemson game. I'm not going to the Florida game this weekend.
First time in a while, Coach. What a joy to have you on, man. You got to come on more often. I
would love to, Coach. I'm here on the beach, just getting toasted.
All right, Coach. Well, give it some more thought. Who would be good to have?
I was on when I was coaching at Florida. Our quarterback was Shane Matthews.
Oh yeah,
great guy. He has a radio or a show like yours in Gainesville, and he's also our color guy for the Gators now.
Right.
I'll get him on here with you. He's a great storyteller.
Oh, man, be an honor to have Shane Matthews on. Thank you, Coach.
Pascagoula, Mississippi boy. His dad was a high school coach and 14 years in the NFL. Yeah, Bill Matthews. That's how I knew Shane. I know Shane's about 5 years old. So, but him and Mike Cassidy, coach up at Louisville. I told you we'd get him on. He's got an incredible story. And there's we all know everybody, so.
Right. Yeah. All 5th generation. Every coach knows every coach.
Yeah, and. So, that's I pull for my friends, not teams, really.
Absolutely. Pull for your friends, right? Absolutely, Coach. Man, it's an honor to have you.
Hey, are you getting soaked over there?
Huh?
Are you getting soaked? Is it raining?
Yes, it's raining over here. Yes, it is.
So it's
even though I got my green screen on, I had to put your Florida Gator green screen up there for all my Gators.
Brother.
Yeah, all my Gator fans. All right, Coach.
All right, here we go.
Hey, good to see you. Give it a chomp. Give it a chomp. Have a great weekend, Coach.
Thanks, Paul.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Oh, man, that was awesome. Coach Kyle Lingerfelt, Florida Gator through and through. What an amazing story he is to pull himself out and be a really successful guy, successful coach, and just a super fun guy to have around. That guy, I'm afraid, or I'm guarantee you, that guy is not going to rust out. He'll wear out before that. All right, guys, have a great sports weekend. Enjoy these games coming up. Hope my picks were as good as the last time I had. So have a great sports weekend, everybody. See ya.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
Drive a little to save a lot on 170 Buicks and GMCs at Step 1 Buick GMC. Get savings up to $4,000 on new Buick Encores, $9,450 on new Buick Envisions, $7,000 on new GMC Yukon XLs, or up to $15,345 off on new Sierras. Only at Step 1 Buick GMC, Pensacola. Plus tax, tag, title, license, dealer processing fee expires 7/31/24 on select new 24 in-stock models. Discount off MSRP includes all incentives.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray, and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
75 years of service and high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than the simple painted brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348.
Barnes Heating and Air is a proud sponsor of Alabama football, serving the entire Pensacola community for over 50 years. Barnes Heating and Air is passionate about providing customers with world-class air conditioning and heating repairs, sales, and installation. Barnes Heating and Air is family-owned, insured, and committed to quality. For a free estimate, call 478-0141. Barnes Heating and Air is #1 in customer service with service calls 7 days a week. Call Barnes Heating and Air 478-0141 and roll Tide.